Once the session concludes, kindly exit through the main doors behind you. Our team will assist you. And on that note, let's turn our attention to the reason we're all gathered here today. This is not a press conference, I'll be honest. It's a celebration of storytelling at its grandest scale. A film inspired by humanity's greatest adventure. A story of courage, destiny, and an extraordinary journey home, the Odyssey. Would you like volume? Could you help us with that, please? Thank you. Is this better for you? Thank you for that. Now, Mumbai has always been a city that embraces cinema like no other. Over the last 24 hours, that relationship has been on full display. A few of you were here at the screening yesterday. If you were, you can give yourselves a round of applause. Yes. It was so beautiful. It was so special. I said this off script last night when I said we're bonded for life, this team that was in that screen. The screening ended with a special greeting from Team Odyssey that included the producer, actors, and the director at the movie theater. This is also the first time India has become part of a global premiere tour for a major Hollywood film. And today, we're thrilled to welcome the filmmakers and members of the cast for this landmark moment celebrating one of the year's moments. I'd also like to take a moment and welcome all our guests who come all the way from their countries. A warm welcome to each of you. My friends in India, please put your hands together and give them a warm welcome. Thank you for being with us. For this morning, first guest is an Academy Award-winning producer whose vision and dedication has helped bring some of the most acclaimed and ambitious films of our time onto the big screen. As the producer of The Odyssey, she continues to champion bold storytelling and cinematic excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Academy Award-winning producer Emma Thomas. Joining us again, now in welcoming someone representing a new generation of global movie stars, an actor whose energy, charm, and talent have captivated around the world, a performer who effortlessly bridges the gap between intense dramatic grit and blockbuster spectacle. Please welcome Tom Holland. Thank you, Tom. Our next guest is an actor whose career has taken audiences across galaxies, battlefields, racetracks, and some of the most unforgettable stories of our time. A performer of remarkable depth, charisma, and versatility. Please welcome Academy Award winner Matt Damon. Thank you. Welcome once again. A visionary who doesn't just make movies, but completely reshapes how we experience time, scale, and storytelling itself. An Academy Award winner whose work has redefined modern cinema and inspired audiences across the world. Today, he takes us on the ultimate, turning one of the world's most influential stories in human history into an immersive cinematic spectacle. Mumbai, please welcome Christopher Nolan. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me, Emma, Tom, Matt, and Chris. A very warm Mumbai welcome, as it's been since yesterday. I hope you've been enjoying your time here already.
Yeah, very much. It's fantastic being here, and we feel very, very welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm going to start with one question each, and then we're going to open this to our friends from the media. I'm going to start with you. After producing so many acclaimed films, I must ask you, what is the most unique or special bit about the Odyssey?
Oh my goodness, where do I begin? I think that the thing that was really unique about the Odyssey was the scale of it, because I think every film that we've made has its own challenges, but this film felt like it had many challenges, and we shot it in multiple locations. Each of them had very complicated and big set pieces that we had to shoot. And on pretty much every film we've ever made, there's always at least one big scene where you kind of spend a lot of time thinking about how you're going to do it. But this one, there were so many, and each time you finished one and you felt good about finishing it, you'd realize that, oh no, next week we have to do another one. But we had an amazing cast, and we had fantastic crew, a global crew, and everyone was sort of perfectly qualified to with all the experience that they'd gained on the other films to make this one work. So.
Well, thank you so much. Did we forget to mention that, at least me personally, I love the film, and a lot of my friends here might have the same, but we're embargoed and all that, so we can't say too much. Maybe we just move an eyebrow or something. I'm going to move to Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
I want to talk to you about that moment that might have left you speechless while you were filming.
Oh, a moment that for me left me speechless would have to have been my first day on set. And I wasn't working that day. I went to visit because I wanted to kind of get an understanding of what I was walking into. And I remember we were in Morocco, and I walked over the brow of this sand dune, and it felt more like I had gone back in time than I had walked onto a film set. The scale of what we were doing was so overwhelming. I'm looking at thousands of people in costume, hundreds of boats, the horse is listing in the sand as the waves are crashing into it, and I remember an AD said to me, just go that way, and eventually you'll find the crew. And I remember walking, and then eventually, I saw Matt and Chris kind of at the epicenter of this massive thing, and I just remember that day pinching myself and sort of telling myself to drink this all in, because this is unlike anything that has ever been before and probably ever again.
Well, thank you. That was beautiful for that. Thank you so much for your brilliant Odysseus. I want to ask you, what Odysseus teach us today that the modern world might have forgotten?
Wow. I just want to add really to Tom's, just because there was one story it just reminded me of, which was in terms of the scale of this film. We were shooting Troy, the sacking of Troy, and there was where Hoyte was filming me with the camera. He had it on his shoulder, and buildings were on fire, and there were thousands of people battling, and somebody ran past me on fire just through the crowd as a little detail in the shot. And through this incredible, beautiful chaos, we hear Chris shout, cut, and everything stops. And Hoyte takes the camera off his shoulder, hands it off, and turns to me and says, "You realize this is a flashback." So that was my moment where I went, this is really big. This is, but I think certainly in this teaches us that you live with the consequences. So choose carefully.
Wow. So beautifully said. He has always taken us to the future. You took us to the past this time, and then made us suddenly think about our present. That is Christopher Nolan for you, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, I want to ask you a very personal question, because this is a question from all of us in the room today. What made you choose India as part of the Odyssey's press tour journey?
It's easy. I mean, I first came to Mumbai years ago, brought by my friend Shivendra to a conference about the future of film, and I met a lot of filmmakers and really got to know a little bit about the film culture here. And I've never been anywhere in the world with an appreciation of what movies can be and what they should be for audiences. And to me, it seemed crazy to premiere them for my audiences. I'll be able to do this. To come originally because we filmed here in Mumbai, and then because of the pandemic, we weren't able to. And so finally, we're actually able to, and it's a thrill. We've wanted to do this for years.
Yes, and Mumbai feels special these last 24 hours. I mean, how do you give joy to a city? Yes, it was beautiful. Thank you so much. I promised you just one each. This is where we move to you, my wonderful. Opening the floor for questions, but as we're going to take names of you first, and then please point your question to who you want to ask it to. We're going to start with Alka Shahani from the Indian Express. Hi.
Hi, hello. Thank Nolan and your extraordinary team for bringing this spectacular experience to India first. As you know, India, there is a massive fandom. You enjoy their love and appreciation. What do you think has contributed to building this connection?
I mean, I just like to think films are a universal language. It's one of the things I most enjoy about working on large-scale films is you get to take them around the world and you get to connect with different cultures all across the world. And I think when films really connect, when they have universal themes and sort of timeless themes, as I hope that the Odyssey does, it's wonderful how it kind of brings us together. And for us to go on the road and travel and come here, you know, so I was about to say far from home. I didn't want to say that. I got stuck. Just going to say, if you see only one Tom Holland film this summer, it's pretty thrilling to come to a completely different place and find entertainment together, find love and tears together. Movies are all about this ultimate kind of expression of that for us, and it's been really to see our films connect with Indian audience. So thank you.
Thank you for your question. I'm going to move on, but hey, we had that in joke, okay? And let's move on to Anupama Kumar from the IANS. Hi, Anupama.
Hello everyone. My question, so yesterday when I saw this film, first my question, let me tell you that it brought my childhood memories when I read the Odyssey. And my question to you is that of all the characters that you have done in your career spanning 30-35 years, which one has impacted you the most?
Well, I think I would have to say this one because having of those 35 years behind me, and to have the opportunity to play a role like this, he's such a fascinating. But to do it in this way with Chris, everything practical, everything. It's my one chance to make a David. And I'd always wanted to do that, and I felt such gratitude from the moment he called me. I knew what this was. I mean, I had a sense of what this was going to entail, and it required so much work from so many thousands of people. But you knew you were among kindred spirits. Every single person there wanted to be there and nowhere else. And we collected crew members in every country we went to. And you knew you were working with the elite from that coming on board for that section to kind of take on that set piece, and then you'd move on, and you'd pick up, new members in Greece, in Italy, in Iceland, in Morocco. It was just the most exceptional group of people who were all there for the same reason, and so I think, I said to Emma early on, I can't believe you decided to produce this movie. What is wrong with you? I said, I'm so happy I'm not a producer on this movie, because the level of coordination would just beggar the imagination. But she said to me, this is like 6 or 7 movies, but we've actually made each of these movies already. We've been on the water with Dunkirk, we've been up mountains with Batman. So we've made all of these movies, and so we're prepared to make this one. And that's kind of how I felt. It took every kind of tool in the toolkit that I've been evolving and refining for my life to meet this moment, and I got to meet it with the most extraordinary group of people. So I would have to say this is the one.
Thank you for your question, Anupama. And thank you for your answer, ma'am. We move to Naini Thakkar from Forbes India. Naini, there's a mic coming to you.
Hi. First of all, congratulations. What an incredible film, and it was truly an experience to all of you. My question's for you, Tom. Audiences sort of love these larger-than-life kind of films. What do you think will surprise them about the Odyssey?
I think the thing that is most surprising is that the scope and the scale doesn't come at the behest of the emotion. I think you're going to see a movie where you're going to see set pieces that are going to blow you away, and you'll see things that you've never seen before. But I think that because Chris decided to shoot this movie on IMAX, he is welcoming the audience into an experience that I think is really unique. And I think that you will get to feel the heartache that Matt portrays so well. You'll get to feel the longing from Anne Hathaway as Penelope, And I think that I've never experienced anything like that as an audience member, let alone as an actor. So I just feel a sense of connection to Chris's work, and our work feels really unique and profound.
I totally agree with you. I know I was bawling pretty much to the second half. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Naini. We're going to move to Reshmi from the Deccan Chronicle. Hi, Reshmi. Good morning.
Hi, I'm staying in the movie, so thank you so much, Mr. Nolan and Matt and Tom. Thanks for brilliant work. My question is for Emma. Emma, if you had to describe the Odyssey in 3 words, which the Indian audiences are like waiting to experience, what would they be?
It's a hard one. I would say, gosh, epic. It has to be the first one. I mean, it's absolutely huge, and the story is told on the grandest scale. I would say experiential. It's a big experience. It makes you feel like you're in it with the characters. And then finally, and actually most importantly, I would say human. Because I think that as big as the movie is, and as far in the past as we know, as it takes place, ultimately what really distinguishes this story for me is the fact that, and I think what is so great about what Chris and these amazing actors have done, is that it makes us realize that we have more with these people and human beings. We're all just human. We care about whether it's be a place or a relationship or whatever. And so yeah, human. Epic, experiential, human.
Thank you so much.
That's been my 3 words, which were going to be Matt, Tom, and Anne.
Kumar Ramakrishnan from The Herald is next.
Hello, family, and to the head of the family, my question is for you, Chris. One thing that really fascinates me about the Odyssey is that we don't actually know if Homer was a single person at all. Homer may have come from a generation of storytellers, and you have a distinct voice. When you adapt a story with no definitive author, as some believe, does it feel freeing, or does it you feel, have an even greater
That's a great question. Yeah, I wasn't worried that Homer or whatever was going to come after me in the press or anything. But Homer, whoever or whatever they are, has plenty of representatives who feel they know exactly what was intended. So any a piece of literature that's known and beloved by story, generation after generation, a lot of people have a lot of different ideas. For me, like when I were doing the doc, we were working on a beloved character, Batman. We sort of realized that you just have to make the best film you can and put a strong interpretation, your interpretation on. And I think people who love the piece of literature, in this case the Odyssey, hopefully they enjoy the respect that we're showing to the original source by making as good a film as we know how to make.
She asks if you have a literature background, because she's someone who studied literature.
Oh, I studied literature at university, but not very well, so I don't really have much of a literature background, but on paper I do.
Thank you, Anupama. Let's move to Rohit Khilnani from the Bollywood Hangama. Hi, Rohit. Good morning.
Thank you. Hi. Great to see all of you in Mumbai. And as always, you're doing a wonderful job, Rohini. My question is to Matt. When we walk out of the theater, Odysseus stays with us. His qualities, there's so much to think about. What is that one quality or few qualities that stayed with you that you would like to imbibe?
Oh, great question. Because I think it depends sometimes really on where you are in your own life when you encounter this story. I think that's why it's endured, right? Because, as a young man, I probably viewed it more as a coming-of-age story. Encountering it again in my 50s, it struck me very different, and I really related with a lot of him, a lot of he's flawed. He doesn't make he very much in love with what he's done. Yeah, I'd probably, if I had one word, I mean, complicated is the word that Homer used, so that would be one. But having been through this experience, perhaps endurance.
Thank you. Well, let's move to Ekta Sen from L. Hi, Ekta. Good morning.
Hi. Firstly, I hope you guys are enjoying your time in India. The film was so stunning. I'm still in haze of film. My question is for you, Tom. Across your journey in the film industry for now, and the adventure, identity, preservance. What themes resonated with you the most?
Sorry, say that again?
What of these themes resonated with you most? Be it adventure, the identities of the story.
Well, the adventure is something that excites me. What I love about making movies is you never really know what's around the corner. And making a movie with Chris on this scale, you really never know what's around the corner. It could be a 30-foot Cyclops. But the idea of self-discovery and identity I find really interesting, especially for Telemachus. He's a young kid who is becoming a man, and it's, for me, feels very much like the original coming of exploring something like that movie of this size was really, really exciting. And I know I spoke about it before, but what was so exciting was shooting those really intimate moments on an IMAX camera, because it felt like when we were making the movie, you guys were already in the room with us. There really was a sense that this movie is a love letter